All right, now we're going to discuss the execution stage. This is when your planning and your preparation all come into place. Hopefully you haven't procrastinated too much, because procrastination will steal your energy and cause undue stress. At this point, if you have some particular details that you know will probably not be finalized before your event, go ahead and make an executive decision to go ahead and cut those out. Because if you don't think you'll be able to accomplish those properly before your event, it's just going to cause undue stress, and it's going to take away your focus from the things that are going to be more important. Now, the day of the event can be extremely overwhelming. We've all been there. There's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot of things going on. Everyone's going to need your attention because everyone's going to have questions. So sit back and take a breath. Take a few minutes before your event, the morning of. Maybe sit down and have some coffee. Take a few moments to just kind of decompress, relax. Do something for a little while that has nothing to do with your event so that you can clear your mind. Because when you go to your event and things begin to move, all the pieces start to come to play, you want to be energetic, you want to be confident, you want to be relaxed. Because that will convey a particular energy to your team leaders, to your volunteers, and that will dramatically affect your event, the success of your event. If you're stressed out, if you don't feel like you're confident, those things will have a very negative impact on your event. So make sure that you take some time, take a breath, because here's the thing. If your if your event is not successful, no big deal. There's certain things that happen that you can't help sometimes. Look at it as a learning experience. How many times have we heard of Benjamin Franklin and all the inventions that he created that weren't successful? And even out of the ones that he created that were successful, we only know him for a few. So look at your event, even if you feel like it's unsuccessful, as a learning experience. Take that, learn from it, and make things better next year. Now, hopefully you've had a successful event, and we move into what I call the debriefing stage. Now, the debriefing stage actually begins during your event. You want to take some time to actually poll your guests. You want to ask them what they've liked about the particular event, if they've had an enjoying time, if the goals that you have set have been accomplished. Now, also be looking for verbal and nonverbal cues. The verbal cues are easy. You'll hear people maybe grumbling about something particular, or you may hear kids say, "Hey, I love this particular item." The nonverbal cues are a little bit more different, but you can get a feel about the crowd, the way the energy that's going on. If there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of fun, you hear a lot of laughter, there's a lot of noise, you're probably having a successful event. If it's quiet, it's solemn, people just seem kind of tense, there may be some issues that you can learn from that, some things that you can work on the next year. Now, immediately after your event, poll your volunteers. Ask them, what did you think was successful, and what things do you think we can improve on next year? Within 24 hours of your event, sit down and make yourself your own mental list of things that you saw that were wonderful, because you need to remember the positive things, but also sit down and write the things that you think that you can improve upon the next year. Now, keep a detailed file. And when I say file, I'm old school, all right? I still use the manila folders. Yes, I know, I'm old school. But what I do every year is I take a manila folder, I have it set up for that particular event, and every year I add notes to that. Now, every once in a while, I'll throw out useless receipts or information that I no longer need or find viable. But I add notes to that every year. What happens is, after your first year, you begin to be more proficient in the way that you set up your event. You begin to realize what things were important, what things weren't, what things were successful, and what things that were really just a waste of time. Now, I'm hoping that your event has been successful. I'm hoping that your debriefing stage has been successful. Now we come to the point where I like to say we need to protect our investment. If you've put effort into making this event successful, if you've put effort into putting a group of people together that were highly intelligent, highly creative, everything's been delegated properly, and you had a smooth event, then you need to protect that. And what I mean is, you need to make sure those people that made your event successful know how valuable they are to you. It may be something as simple as walking up to them later that week and giving them a handshake, giving them a hug, and saying, "Look, I appreciate what you did." You need to be specific, and you need to be detailed about how much you value them and how they made your event a success. Maybe something like a gift card to Starbucks. Maybe they're a coffee person. Something as simple as a handwritten note can go a long way. I know that may be archaic because it's not our normal social media, and I think that's the reason that it has such a large impact, is because no one gives handwritten thank you notes anymore. So if you take a moment to do things like that, you'll protect your investment for future events. In conclusion, I hope that this information will help you put together a successful event. If you will do me a favor, we want to put out more content that is actually beneficial to those of you that work in leadership. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you'll like and share the video, also subscribe to our channel, because we are going to attempt to put out additional content. Feel free to put comments underneath, whether you like the video, whether you didn't like the video. Give us some feedback on what we can do to improve it. And also, give us some questions that maybe you have, maybe some content on some different subjects that we can cover that will actually help you out. Also, look for our Instagram, my Twitter account, our Facebook account. I'll try to put information of that in the end of the video.